I built a $100,000 LinkedIn profile. It just took 5 years of constant learning, market research, experimentation, rebuilding my profile 20 times, and doing the profiles of 30 plus clients. And now I get to share that exact process in just one video. And everyone who managed to grow their businesses using LinkedIn as a source of leads used kind of the same process. Interestingly, it all comes down to 7 questions. And if you want my exact template for building your own profile, make sure you go to the link in the description. So let's start with your headline. The headline acts as a gatekeeper for your profile. It welcomes those who are the fit and also kind of filters out those who don't fit. And so to write a great headline that attracts your target audience, you need to first answer these 3 questions. First, who is your target audience? Second, what are you offering? And third, what is your differentiator? So let's say you are a service-based business on LA. Your target audience might be Series A EdTech startups, and your offer are CRM automations. Easy, right? But now we need to still fill in your differentiator. And this is where most offers either succeed or fail. Alex Hormozi has this really great formula that has been behind most of his $100 million companies. And essentially has 4 different values. You have dream outcome and perceived likelihood of achievement, and then these 2 elements are divided by time delay and effort and sacrifice. Now, essentially, you should go through your competition and see what they are lacking and how you can turn those things that they don't have into your differentiator. You might be faster, you might create results with less time, or you might actually have more testimonials from similar companies. The possibilities are endless, but I highly recommend you to choose one differentiator that your target audience actually cares about. And so the differentiator for our example will be a 60-day sprint. So these guys build CRM automations for EdTech startups in just a 60-day sprint. And this is essentially our main headline. It targets a specific audience, it tells what they offer, and it also has the differentiator. Could we add more details? I think yes. In our headline, we can still leverage the power of social proof. So in this case, what I think could be relevant is adding the number of clients and their average results they've been achieving. So we could do 20 plus clients with 45% sales efficiency. And this will be our final headline. Easy, right? The next step is the banner. When creating our banner, you'll need to answer the 4th and 5th question. What's the outcome my target audience most wants? And 2, what's the pain points they want to avoid? Now, you find about this data with deep customer research. You should hop into calls with your existing customers. If you don't have existing customers, find people in your target audience, get on calls with them, go into networking calls, and complement your research with other tools like SparkToro, Quora, Reddit. Essentially become obsessed with your target audience. And that's how you will find what outcomes they want and what pain points they want to avoid. In this example, our target audience wants to increase sales efficiency. And essentially, one of the biggest pain points they have is losing leads because they just go into their CRM and there are no automations that process that lead into later stages of the funnel and actually turn that prospect into a customer. And the way I like to do this on the banner is either with a question or a powerful statement. For our question, we could do, what if you could increase sales efficiency by 30% in just 3 months? And the powerful statement could be, you have 6-figure contract deals sitting in your pipeline right now. These are just 2 options, so playing with questions and power statements is a great way to craft the copy for your banner. I'm going to pick the question, and this is how it looks like. What if you could increase your sales efficiency by 30% in under 3 months? We just need to do a little bit of Canva design, and your banner will be ready. Now your prospect has a concrete question to answer, right? But what if they want to know more? Where should they click next? And this is where the featured section comes in handy. It's literally one of the biggest pieces of real estate in your LinkedIn profile that you should be taking advantage of, because it essentially means that you can put external links that will redirect your prospects to other pages that have your offer, your free trial, your contact page, your newsletter, and so much more. Now, I don't recommend you to add all of these links. What I recommend is to choose between 1 to 3 main offers that you want to highlight on your profile. You might consider adding something that is free, like a newsletter, or a cheaper product, like a $50 template, or you can also add your main services that are a bit more on the higher end. And of course, if you just answer this question, you will have the answer to your featured section. Where should they click to move towards my solution? So, featured section done. Now let's move on to the about section, which is usually where most people struggle the most. But with this process, the about section will literally be so much easier. Remember all the questions we covered: your audience, your offering, your differentiator, their pain points, and their desired outcomes, and also where should they click next. These 6 elements basically make the about section. If you just combine all of these 6 questions into a framework, you will essentially have your about section written by itself. My framework for writing the about section is as simple as this. First, write your hook. Second, write a story that resonates with your target audience, because you already know who they are. Third, write down all of their pain points. Fourth, place your offering and your differentiator as a way to avoid those pain points. Fifth, include their desired outcomes. And finally, end with social proof and the CTA. Maybe you are a bit confused by the process, so I really think that showing you my profile will be the easiest way to see how I put this into practice. So essentially, my hook is, last time I checked, 2023. Why is every founder just using LinkedIn to occasionally repost a company page post the social media manager slacked? This works because of 2 reasons. First, I make it known that we are in 2023 and this is still happening. And second, I'm just showing that I exactly know how it usually goes. Social media manager just sends a company page post for Slack, the founder just reposts, and it's done. This really happens, and so it essentially just lines it up. Then I list out the pain points because I know that they actually want these things. And I'm talking about podcast invitations that build authority, industry conferences, brand awareness, highly qualified prospects, and even occasional lunches from other entrepreneurs, which I've seen happen. This builds urgency, right? Because they get remembered of all of the things they are missing. They just start thinking to themselves, well, I haven't been invited for a podcast in a while, right? Can she help me do that? And the answer is yes. And so the next step is basically just flipping the pain points into desired outcomes. I talk about founder-led growth and all of the benefits that I've seen it provide. Now, the next part is I basically address one of their most common objections, which is, what if I don't have time? Like, how do you know what content to write and so on? So I just tell them that everything they've been done throughout their lives can be used for content. Then I just talk about my own strategy and the way I manage it. And finally, I end with a CTA. Simple, easy, effective, anyone can do it. And speaking of easy, you should download my LinkedIn profile template, which will help you put this into practice so much faster. Now, the next section of the profile are the hashtags. And the main reason why you want to add hashtags is because they just immediately tell people what you write about on your profile. The best way to pick is to choose 3 keywords that are related with your service. Then 1 word that represents your target audience and another word that represents the main industry. This is because you only have 5 hashtags, so I actually recommend you to fill the 5, but of course choose wisely because people look at these hashtags to see what the hell you're talking about actually. In the beginning of the video, I mentioned that this profile has generated more than $100K. And that's true. But that's not just because of the profile. You need to complement your profile with consistent content. Otherwise, no one will click on your profile in the first place. I've built this video with my 4C method, which essentially go through the 4 steps I take to create content consistently that helps me generate leads. And if you want to check it out, click here.